Hi everyone, I'm Sabrina Bakare, and I'm just going to talk to you guys a little bit about mental health, why I'm so passionate about it, and why I think it's so important for everybody to try and be as mindful as they can. So my first experience really of mental health, like when I was younger, again, in schools, I don't really remember them talking about mental health or somebody coming in and explaining to us what it is. I think there was kind of just the assumption that we've got our physical body and then there's your mind and where your brain is. That's kind of what we kind of knew. But unfortunately, my very first experience with it was when my friend took her own life. When she was just for her 18th birthday, she was 17, and unfortunately, she took her life. And I had seen her maybe a couple of weeks beforehand at a house party, and we just thought everything was fine, chirpy as herself, in a good mood and everything. And yeah, it was very big shock to everybody. And that was kind of my first experience. And then since then, I just thought, wow, how interesting is it that you could be so close to somebody, know somebody, but not actually know what's going on in their mind. And I thought from there on, I need to not understand, but I need to learn a bit more about mental health and everything. So that's what inspired me to study psychology. And I studied psychology at Loughborough University. And for my placement year, I worked in the inpatient units at our local hospital. And on the wards, it was 2 male wards and a female ward. And I just learned so much. I think I did my first 2 years and I knew about the theory, but it's different when you can see how mental health problems present themselves, and so many people, so many walks of life suffering from mental health conditions and mental health illnesses. And so from then, I've always wanted to just figure out how can I help people help themselves, if I can hopefully just spread a positive message, spread awareness about mental health, and just try and promote positive mental health and well-being. So during this lockdown, I decided I wanted to try and make a website, and again, just spreading positivity, doing challenges on there. And so I've done 2 challenges on there, and I'm really into meditation. I can go back a little bit, but when I was in my final year, I did a clinical module. And so a lady came in and she spoke about mindfulness, and I've never heard of mindfulness before that. And she explained to us that it's something you can do to improve your quality of life without making any significant outward changes. And so I said, okay, so what is mindfulness? And for anyone who doesn't know, mindfulness is about being in the present moment and just being aware, being mindful of your surroundings, being mindful of your thoughts, and just paying attention to the present moment and focusing on in the here and now. Because a lot of the time we spend thoughts planning about things and things about the future on your to-do list, worrying about what's not yet to come. And then sometimes people think about stuff in the past. And it's like, okay, you're worried about something that went on maybe 2-3 days ago. But what mindfulness is about being in the present moment and focusing on here and now, because this is the only moment you can truly operate from. And I loved it. And I thought, this is amazing. And so from then on, I tried to do meditation because I was a bit stressed with my final year exams. And I thought, okay, let me download an app and just try and meditate. And I'll be honest, initially, I didn't stick to it because I thought, oh, I'm wasting my time. I was like, I'm sitting down for like a minute or 2 and I don't feel anything different. All I can think about is my thoughts racing on in my head. And then when I graduated, I had more time and I thought, let me really try this mindfulness thing. And so since then, I love it. And I meditate every single day. And so on my website, one of the challenges was for people to try and meditate for up to 30 minutes. And so I got everybody on my Instagram and people that from my training group and my family and friends just to try this out. And you'd meditate a minute a day, but longer each day. So we started on, like June, and we did it for 30 minutes. And yeah, people found it quite refreshing, actually. They thought they had a bit of misconception about meditation and what it should be like. And I tried to explain to people that you're just sitting with your thoughts and your mind will wander because that's the nature of the brain, but you've got to try and bring yourself back into the present moment. And so a lot of people enjoyed it. They found it quite relaxing and quite calming, and I swear by it. And so I always try to advocate for mindfulness and meditation because I just think it's super important. And then my recent challenge last month was gratitude journaling. And I thought to myself, because of in the pandemic, a lot of people have maybe feeling some kind of like negativity. The news is quite induces feelings of fear and stuff. And so I wanted people just to think about their situation and how lucky we are. For example, like I never thought of this personally, but how lucky I am to have a garden. Because when it was peak lockdown, we had to stay in our houses. Some people are in flats. And so some people didn't have access to outdoor space. And so I thought to myself, wow, like I'm really, really lucky to have a garden, to go out and get some fresh air, to exercise in my own place and not be worried about any viruses outside and stuff. And so got people to do that. And again, it's one of them things where I'm just hoping to shift people's perceptions a little bit, think about their life a little bit differently. And just, yeah, so spreading some positive love and positive energy. And so, yeah, with mental health in general, I just think it's super important. So all of us have mental health. All of us, it's not a negative thing because sometimes there's a stigma around it. And I think it's just important for everybody to understand that we are humans and we do have up and down days. But if we're just aware of how we think and how we feel, then we can just operate better. And so, yeah, I'd always advocate for mental health isn't a bad thing. It's normal for everybody. And the more we talk about it, the more we can normalize it and break down the stigmas associated with it.